I'm Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And, well, there's nothing to fucking talk about. There's not a damn thing to talk about. Not a damn thing to talk about. Here I am spinning back around because apparently Stephen A. Smith wanted to spin the block now. He didn't necessarily violate LeBron like he was supposed to, but he did go off on some certain other people in media or some certain other fans, I guess, that call him out and say he's always trying to bring the black man down. We have no choice, so let's listen.
Or maybe we should have forget the fact, that's up to you, but it was on the day where I was all over the news because news had percolated that I had reached a new contract extension with ESPN.
Fuck that, Stephen A. You should have went viral. Enough is enough. I get it. King James. He's a father. All this extra shit. Yeah, he's a father. I'm sure he got a few kids. He does. He has like 3, I believe. Shout out to the kids. But when one of your kids becomes a public figure and is getting paid $2 million a year to play basketball, then commentators like Stephen A. Smith, commentators like Shannon Sharp, commentators like Kendrick Perkins, go down the list. They have every right to criticize them. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get why LeBron doesn't get that. You came into the game, no matter how old you were, you came into the game, you didn't even go to college. You came straight out of high school. I think you were 17, 18 when he came into the league, and they were criticizing your play. You rose above it. You showed them that you were greater than what they were saying, but that's what your son is going to have to do. You didn't have nobody there to just fucking hold your hand. Come on, LeBron. It's okay, LeBron. It's okay. They don't get it. They don't understand. Like, no. And if anything, it made you better as a player. So there's nothing wrong with Stephen A. Smith saying what he has to say about Bronny. When the other little kid comes into the league, which it looks like he will, LeBron's other son looks like he's going to come into the league, he's going to get criticism as well. You can't, what are you going to do, LeBron? You going to be pulling up on every fucking sports reporter?
It was that day. But that's neither here nor there. When that stuff happened, what I was going to say to LeBron James, which would have clearly made the situation worse, is what I said on national television Friday morning when I spoke about it on First Take on ESPN, and in the aftermath right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show over the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. I said that when I brought up Bronny James and I was speaking about him, the incident that it clearly infuriated LeBron James so much, I wasn't talking about Bronny James. I was talking about you, LeBron James. And what threw me off was that LeBron James kept saying, stop shitting on my son. That's my effing son. That's my effing son. Stop shitting on my son. And that bothered me all weekend long because I was trying to figure out, when was I shitting on his son? And that's why I decided to come back and revisit this today, because something happened over the weekend that seemed fairly innocuous to you all, but not to me. And I want you to see this clip right here and to see what they're saying. This is LeBron James talking to my ESPN and ABC colleague, Richard Jefferson, his former teammate. They won a championship together in Cleveland. Richard Jefferson now works for ESPN and ABC calling games, and LeBron was speaking to him prior to the game against Boston, in Boston, on Saturday night. And I would like you all to take a look at this and to see what they're saying LeBron said to Richard Jefferson. Take a look. So y'all saw that. So he was saying that what set him off is me saying, I'm pleading with you as a father. Ladies and gentlemen, he's alluding to what I said on January 29th, first on First Take, but now on here, on this show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, the same day. I addressed the topics on both platforms. Here's what I said on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Play this, please. With LeBron, the best of intentions. Wonderful father by all accounts. I'm not casting any aspersions on him. I'm saying, that's your son, bro. You know the game of basketball. He ain't ready yet. Why put him in that position? You had your moment being on the court with him. Now that kid's got to go earn his stripes, which I believe he will do. Watching him in the G League. You can't do this. You can't continue to let us see what we've been seeing. And I'm wrong. I'm questioning him as a father because I'm saying, yo, wrap your arms around him and say, not now, not just yet. That's questioning somebody's fatherhood. There you have it. That's what LeBron James was talking about. And on First Take that morning, I was saying, I'm pleading with LeBron James. Stop it. Stop this. Yet the LeBron James that approached me said I was shitting on his son. I'm perplexed at the moment because I don't believe I've ever done that. Had he said, you shitting on me and you talking about me as a father, I would have known exactly what he was talking about. And maybe it's best in the moment that I didn't recall that. I couldn't decipher what he was saying. Because I might have said what I was tempted to say. I was talking about you. We sit here more than a month later. I stand by what I said, just like I said on television Friday. Why do I stand on what I said? Why do I stand by what I said? Because it's important that all of you know the back history as it pertains to me. Now we're going to get a little deep. When Bronny James was in high school, I never went to see him play on purpose. I hinted at potentially going over to Sierra Canyon and watching him play, but I never went. And when I spoke about it on the air, I said, the kid, from what I'm being told, has potential. But we all know how great his father is. And we all know what a figure his father is, not just as a player, but in some people's eyes as an activist, and in some people's eyes, in a variety of other ways that can serve to not just galvanize, but polarize certain communities in this country. Folks are looking for an excuse. If I walk into an arena because I'm Stephen A., and to watch a basketball player that is the son of LeBron James, I know that from the moment I depart from there, everyone wants a critique about his game, and I did not want to do that. So I never went and watched him play in high school out of respect and deference to the James family. He goes to college. He suffers the heart ailment. I mean, my God, it scared the living hell out of us when we all heard the news that for a couple of seconds, he wasn't responsive. You're like, oh my God, we hope he's okay. And I said, to recover from that, you can't judge him on what you see his first year in college because he's not 100% healthy. That's not fair to him because he's LeBron James' son and you're inviting additional scrutiny. So I never went to USC. I'm out here in LA all the time. I'm here now. I've had opportunities to go to USC to watch Bronny James play. but I didn't think it would be fair to him and to LeBron James. So I never went. I never went. Then he's entering the draft instead of staying in school. And when he decided to enter the draft, and you had people speculating about what he wasn't, it was a colleague of mine by the name of Kendrick Perkins who went on national television as a former All-American with LeBron James in the 2003 All-American class, if I remember correctly, who said in front of the cameras on the record, we've never seen a 14-year-old be named a McDonald's All-American, bringing into question the legitimacy of Bronny James being an All-American. I didn't touch it. He gets drafted. But even while he got drafted, we were told Golden State might have been interested, Phoenix might have been interested, the Clippers were interested, Boston might have been interested, but were dissuaded from grabbing him because LeBron James and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports and those guys have made it very, very clear he's going to be a Laker. And they honored those wishes. We didn't say anything about that. Opening night, father and son, Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. in attendance. Us who cover the league knows that people were going to question the merit, which means that the league would be reluctant to embrace this, that the Lakers, the most storied franchise in basketball annals outside of the Boston Celtics, would be reluctant to embrace it, but everybody did. And so did the media. So did I. I was in attendance, I was standing up, and I was clapping just like everybody else when he entered the game. And then ultimately the games were played. And all I said was, he's doing great in the G League, but on this level, he's not ready yet for a variety of reasons. Don't do this. Why did I say as a father? If it were a Kenyon Martin and his son, I wouldn't have said that. If it were a Carmelo Anthony and his son, I would not have said that. If it was a Glenn Big Dog Robinson and his son, I would not have said that. If it was Rick Barry and one of his sons, I would not have said that. I would not have said that about any of those folks because none of those folks had made headlines promoting their child to be in the NBA as a player or a star in the league. This son just came in here. Tim Hardaway, let me not forget him. Senior and junior. That didn't happen. Those dudes played and performed and positioned themselves to be in that situation. That wasn't the case here. So for those, including LeBron, that were caught up in me saying, as a father, I'm saying, as a father, you said, I want to play with my son in the NBA. You said, I don't care if you want me draft Bronny. At this point, it's not about the money. I don't care where it is. I'll play there. I just want to have a year with my son. It was you that said, despite high school, despite the heart ailment, he's better than some of the players in the league. So when I was saying, as a dad, don't do it, I wasn't just talking about Bronny, the player. I was talking about the dad saying the things that he was saying that was only adding pressure to the son. That's what I was doing. So I've never, ever, ever been about being critical of Bronny. I've gone out of my way, being who I am in the position that I am in, to avoid even critiquing him for years. out of respect for the James family. Rich Paul knows that. Adam Medelson knows that. Maverick Carter knows that. Opposing agents and players, former and present, who would ask me why I wouldn't do it, know my position. It was on the record. There's clips of it on First Take. That was my position. So when he said to me, stop shitting on my son, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But then something happened. Something happened. And a light bulb hit my ear. And that was him with Richard Jefferson. I'll get to that in a second, but after a word from Prize Picks. All right, everybody, listen up. With all the big-time sports.
Yeah, I did not know he would be. Bro, Stephen A. been cooking LeBron for the last 10 minutes. Deadass did not know he'd be cooking for 10 minutes. This was the response we needed at first. Where was this at? Look, good thing I'm not live. We're going to skip past this. I am not sponsored by Prize Picks.
LeBron James with Richard Jefferson. You saw the video. So when he sat up there and said, when I'm talking as a dad, right? That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm tripping. I don't give a F. Once he talks about you I plead as a father, I can't. So it wasn't about Bronny. It was about him. Those are his words. Once he said, as a father, that was about him. Which was my point January 29th. It's been about you. I don't want to have a critical word about Bronny James at this stage of his career. And I completely agree with LeBron's agent and the head of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul. We don't always agree. As a matter of fact, most of the time we don't agree at all, but we talk, and I respect the hell out of him. And he made very valid points, and I want to emphasize, Rich is just class. And I got a lot of love for Rich because he's decent at his core, and he's going to call you and talk to you man to man. He would have never did what LeBron James did Thursday night. He never would have done that. But that's neither here nor there. But Rich Paul made a point that Bronny should be contextualized and presented better. I agree with him on that. There's plenty of dudes in the NBA and who have been in the NBA over the years that have been drafted in the second round who struggle initially before getting their bearings under them and ultimately elevating their level of play. He is absolutely right. The reason why it's different for Bronny as opposed to others is because he's LeBron James' son. The NIL deals, the 4-year, $8 million contract, all of these other things that come with it that doesn't happen for the average 55th pick overall in the second round of an NBA draft. The fact of the matter is that there's plenty of dudes that have come in the second round, and it takes them a couple of years, in some cases longer, to get their bearings under them. He is absolutely right. But having said all of that, that again buffers my point. It was never about Bronny. I wouldn't do that to a kid. It was about his dad. And it wasn't about his dad even wanting him in the NBA. It's the things he said and the things he maneuvered and manipulated in order to get his son to wear the same uniform as him, which brought that attention. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want to get into a conversation about me because of how some folks have been attacking me. Not over this, but using this as an excuse to accuse me of hating on the brothers. I'm sick of that shit. I'm not backing up from that anymore. I'm not taking it from people anymore. I'm not just a black man. I'm a brother. I'm not going to take this shit from people anymore. I'm going on Gilbert Arenas' podcast tomorrow. Gil's Arena. With Rashad McCants, with Kenyon Martin, Swaggy P, Nick Young and the crew. I can't wait. I can't wait for that conversation. I'm not taking this shit no more from people. I've had it with this. Because it's incidents like this that people try to piggyback off of. And they try to use it as an excuse to talk about me, hating on brothers. Me. The brother who is the ambassador for HBCU Week that's generated millions in scholarship dollars for thousands of kids. Me, who's helped diversify ESPN with the opportunities as executive producer of First Take, black folks, men and women period, white as well, any minority you can find. Me, who has worked in this business for 30 years. Think about what I know. Think about what I've seen. Think about how much incriminating stuff that I could say. Think about how many incriminating facts I have. And I'm talking about the game. But literally, these brothers act like if this were boxing and a black dude knocked another black dude out, and I talked about the black dude that got knocked out, it's black on black crime. But the brother that knocked him out, you're just going to ignore the praise I gave him. Gervonta Davis fights Lamont Roach last week. It was a majority draw because he took a knee. If the ref had counted that, Gervonta Davis should have lost the fight. Me saying that means I'm hating on a brother? What the hell has this world come to? But this is the stuff that I'm being subjected to. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. I see players, I ain't gonna even mention their names right now. I got plenty of time to do that. But LeBron is one of them. A week before he confronted me, remember he said, watching somebody be the face of the league, well, all these dudes do is go on the air in the mornings and shit on players. He was talking about me.
Might as well let it buffer. If y'all want to rest, y'all can go to the Stephen A. Smith show on YouTube. We've passed 25 minutes. Now, I don't know if this video is going to be 25 minutes long, but I'm sure it's going to be past 20 minutes. And honestly, this is what he needed to do the first time around, my Libra brother. This is the balance that's coming out. Y'all see the balance in full action. We think it's about his son. We think he's approaching us as a father. We feel remorse. We're like, you know what, LeBron? I was wrong. I'm sorry. But then we see, oh no, this is a bit more messy than he's trying to make it seem. Libras go full crash out. Like, you dead ass? You dead ass? I knew it wasn't about your son because they ain't never really shitted on your son. And that's what everybody else was fucking saying. I think Stephen A. was reading the comments. I think Stephen A. was like, oh, wait, I'm not getting backlash for this? Everybody's really on LeBron's ass? Well, let me really say how I fucking feel then. Let him know, my Libra brother. Let him know. Anyways. You know what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike, and this is always I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.